What's going on, everybody? It's AC from Ungood Gaming. I'm here to bring you my Labrynth Deck Profile that I've been playing in my local card shop. It's pretty strong. I've gone 2-1, 2-0 against various meta decks and rogue decks. It's showing its colors, and that's because I play a couple of tech cards in here that you don't normally see, and my ratios are different as well. So, without further ado, I would like to get this going. Alright, so first off, I play two lovely Labrynth with the Silver Castles. Most people play one. I play two because people in my locals, they carry a lot of DD Crows and they like to banish cards. So if they decide to call by the grave one, I have another one that I can keep in rotation if the runic player doesn't banish both copies before I can get some of my combos off. Next, I play 3 Ariana the Servant. She's the green servant. And I also play 2 Arianes, the pinks. Most people play 1 or none. I play 2 because it does come up that she's not in my opening hand, and she can actually get her onto the field if she doesn't get ashed, of course, by discarding a trap from the field or your hand, and it brings her out and she gets her search. So it could give you your field spell if you need it, or your welcome labyrinth if you need that as well. It does come up, and then afterwards you can go into the DDD package, or Baguska. I don't really run a super big extra deck. I literally just use it for the draw power for now until I get all of my cards in the mail. Next, I run 3 Stovey Torbies. I run him at 3 because he's a body that stays on the field, and some of the cards basically need you to have a body on the field. So, and also run 2 Shindrag there. He's basically the same as Torby. You can use both of them separately to get 2 searches. It can set your field up turn 1 if you have both plus 2 burner cards. Last of the monsters, I run 3 Backjacks. This guy is definitely one of the better cards in the Labrynth deck. He didn't see a lot of play outside of Burning Abyss, but he can set your deck up to know what your next 3 cards are, and if you have a very good trap card that you can utilize right then and there during your opponent's turn, you can banish him after you stack your deck and activate it that turn. Alright, as for the spell cards, I run 2 Labrynths. 2 is a really good ratio. 3, you can open up multiple and you don't want that. It's really easy to get it to your hand. The issue is if your opponent gets rid of both of them, you don't really have a way to get them back. I was thinking about running Metaverse just to be able to keep them in rotation. I might, if I can find space for it, I will, but this right now it's a 41 card deck, and I like the consistency how it is. And I have 3 Extrap. When I get the chance, I'm going to turn these into Prosperities. These work good for now. Like I said earlier, I'm not really worried about the extra deck. I run 2 Dogmatic Punishments, so I only need 2 targets for the punishments anyways. This helps me get to my pieces quicker, and it also acts as Ash bait. I run 1 Call by the Grave. It does come up. It can negate Ash for 2 turns. It can shut down certain tier element engines. It's just a really good card. There's a reason it's at 1. And then I have this card, Temple of the Kings. This card is insane. So Labrynth came out with Kuklok, and it basically does the same thing, but you don't have to -1. And this is every single turn, and it's free. Uh, the first line states you can activate one trap card the turn it was set, and that's not limited to normal. So you can set a counter trap card. So say you activate this, you set a warning card. Then you try to go off. They try to ash you. You warning the ash or strike the ash, whichever one you have set. It's awesome. This thing put in a lot of work, a lot more than I thought it would. It let me turn 1 welcome Labrynth and have my entire board established before my opponent even got their draw phase on turn 1. So I would definitely say check this out. It's like it came out in 2010. Not a lot of people know it's out there, and I mean the archetype made Kuklok, which is basically the same thing, but this works better. Trap lineup. We got the 3 welcome Labrynth. These things are mandatory at 3. If you're not running 3, you're probably going to have trouble seeing it, and this turbos your Silver Castle out, and she's the one that loops your opponent's hands, resets your traps. This thing acts as a non-targeting destruction when paired with the field spell. It's a lot. Alright, I got a lot of 2-ofs. We got Ghastly Glitch, Compulse, Dogmatic Punishment. When the field spell is on the field, and Silver Castle's on the field, this can potentially turn into a -3 for your opponent. It can get you 3 destructions if you send Intis, and a special summon. So it pulls its weight. Then we got 2 Ice Dragon Prisons. These are mainly for the non-targeting banishes. It gets rid of a lot of stuff that normally trap decks can't deal with, because a lot of stuff is target immune nowadays, and this is really good. I get rid of a lot of Warlord Savage Dragons with this thing. Dimension Barrier. It speaks for itself. It's Trap Scythe. It's awesome. Then I got 2 Solemn Strike. This paired with the Temple of the Kings helps me dodge Ash for 1,500 life points. And then I got 2 more trap cards. And these cards by far are MVP. Eradicator Epidemic Virus. So I'm not gonna drag on, but the combo that I use with these guys is, so say I have Lovely Labrynth out with the field spell, right? So if I have this guy already set on the field somewhere, or if it's in my hand and I have Temple of the Kings on the field, it can be set and then activated. So it's a normal trap card. I contribute her, choose spell or traps, typically spells because it hits Branded Fusion, Polymerizations, everything inside of Runic, hits all the Sprite cards, that gets them, like starters, smashers, all that stuff. And then because it's a normal trap card, the field spell activates, and it lets you special summon a Fiend from hand or grave. So she literally comes right back. And if she hasn't activated her effect this turn to set a trap, you just set this back onto the field from your graveyard. And I've used that to loop traps and herself, and it got me about 3 games so far. And it's just stacking advantage, and this deck does it really well. Even more so if you can activate your trap cards the same turn that they're set, which is why the Temple of the Kings is working so well for me. But anyways, that's my deck profile. Let me know what you guys think about it. It's 41 cards. I will update it in the future. to have a side deck and an extra deck. But for now, this thing's getting me full match wins with just an extra deck full of high attack damage monsters, no intices or anything. You don't need an extra deck to win with this deck. It's awesome because a lot of people are revolving their decks around keeping people out of the extra decks whenever this deck doesn't actually need one. So, all right, but that's it. You guys take care. Leave a comment in the comments below and let me know what you think. Peace.